Good morning, warriors. And you know what day it is. It is Queen's Challenge Day. So with my crown, I put on, and as you can see, Judah's not here. She'll be here, maybe. Sometimes queens take their time and they're fashionably late, adjusting their crownage, maybe getting a little tea, maybe spilling a little tea. Not sure. But anyways, welcome to another episode of Two Girls and a Pea. And today we're going to speak a bit about empowerment. And no, sorry, that is not. It is expectations. See, the crown gives me empowerment, so that kind of came first. But anyways, it is definitely about expectations. Expectations in all areas of your life. But I want to start out with relationships, friendships, intimate ones, work relationships. What are your expectations? For me, the bar is high, mostly because I hold myself accountable and I hold myself to a higher expectation. So therefore, I expect those that are very close to me or those that are working with me to hold themselves accountable, to hold themselves in a higher regard. I think it makes for a better relationship when the expectations are there. But then where does the line draw between judgment and expectation? Because I'm not going to judge you if you're not doing the same things that I'm doing, of course. But I do want to align myself with those that are leveling up. And I would definitely say that for, my personal relationship. Jude's here. Yay. She looks so cute.
Morning, Queens.
Look at her. We were just speaking about expectations. I said empowerment because I was wearing the crown. And then I got back into the, expectations, and I was telling them in all areas of expectations, whether it's friendships.
You're good. Glittery.
Thank you. I'm glittery.
I'm
glittery. I like the stripes.
Thank you.
So intimate relationships, friendships, work relationships, your associates. What are your expectations? And I was just telling our warriors out there that my expectations are high, because I hold myself to a higher level. So therefore, anyone that I work with or have interpersonal relationships with, I hold them to the same level, because one, I'm not going to ask you to do anything for me that I wouldn't or haven't done for you 10 times over. So, but it's not tit for tat, because I'm not going to usually, maybe what you needed from me is not what I need from you. It may be something totally different, right? And if it's going to benefit the relationship or benefit the workspace or whatever setting you're in, I think the expectations are there. But then before you walked in, I said, where does that fine line come in between judgment and expectation? Are you going to judge the people that haven't leveled up to, what your expectations are? And I was telling them that I don't hold you in judgment, but it's not in alignment with my vision of how, I want our friendship or our intimate relationship or even our working relationship to be. I think because that ends up putting a strain on it. Don't you think? Or no?
Yes and yes. I'm listening to you, and we've talked about this even this week, just self-mastery. And, that terminology has come onto the scene more recently. People are doing self-mastery classes. And, as in my Reiki Master training, we talked a lot about self-mastery. And I think that, I know that you have such a high level of self-mastery in your life, and I think that's part of it. It's not just it's the quality of people that you want in your life, but it's also the quality of relationship that you want in your life. It's about quality.
Yeah.
And the quality that you want in your life, whether it's business, personal.
Right.
And, that's why you're setting the bar up here. I have always tended to be the same, and yet that I was accepting for myself.
Yeah.
And then accepting so much down here.
Right.
That I had to learn. No, that's not what I want in my life.
Were you aware that you were settling for this versus what you wanted, or?
It's weird. You would think that I was, but it's almost like there was a disconnect, because I was doing this and this was happening, and it was like I couldn't figure that out, like that I was just accepting, until I did, right? And then I did. I woke up, eyes open. It was part of my awakening, continual awakening process is, oh, I'm accepting that, and I don't have to.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have to.
Exactly. Do you think that came more to the forefront with your divorce, or as you were understanding it was coming to an end? When do you think you were like, probably, I mean, because you were married for a long time.
Yeah, and in a belief system where you just stay.
Yeah.
So that was fed into part of that.
Right.
But once I made that choice, then the ripple of choosing for myself, went into all the relationships.
Right.
So it was as soon as I made that choice.
Right.
And stepped out of that. So at my separation.
So what are your expectations now?
My expectations now, I am, in some ways, nobody would use the term brutally, but I'm brutally honest.
Yeah.
So I like that in my relationships. And I really don't understand not being so. My expectations, you know why? Because honesty, if you're not being honest in your relationships, you're not allowing the other person to make a choice. I don't want anybody to take my choices away.
True. And in that same line of thought, I don't want someone to be under a guise where they feel they can't make a choice about me, professionally or intimate wise. I don't want to intimidate someone into feeling that they have to accept my level of expectations. I don't want that at all. And I think I have said that in my friendships, and that's where, the brutality of honesty comes in. I'm like, look, you know what? I'm not for everyone, you know what? And I'm okay with that. I am more than okay with that, only because I understand when I look in the mirror what what my flaws are, what my, golden stars are, but more importantly, what my flaws are. And they are not accepting, to a lot of people, but I have enough redeeming and lovely qualities, I think, that the people that I surround myself with can understand my quirks, and I can understand theirs, and then there is no judgment. And don't get me wrong, we all judge. I get that. I totally get that. On some level or not, we have opinions about certain things. So, for me, I want them to have a choice to step away from me. If they don't, if they're like, Yvette, you're just too much, ugh. And like you just said, I love it, get full disclosure, brutality, however, honesty, whatever you want to call it, we have to align ourselves with that truth so we can make our own choices as well.
Right. And I think the other couple of things that I require, and not everybody does, is I'm a very deep person.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult for me to maintain a relationship that doesn't go deep. that doesn't talk deep, that doesn't delve deep,
Right.
and just kind of stays at this level, that is difficult for me. So I have people in my life that are like that, but they're just going to be more in the outer circles. It's not that I don't appreciate them.
Right.
It's just I have to go super deep. I'm a vulnerable person, so I like that vulnerability and that knowing. For me, each person is a universe unto their own to explore, and I like to explore.
Right. Exactly.
And then the other thing would be being really, truly heart-centered, rooted and grounded in love,
mm-hmm.
and understanding of how to come at life through a lens of love.
Right. Without question.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it softens the honesty. They're going to be brutally honest with me, but through a lens of love, because they're telling me the truth, because they love me. They're going to,
but the truth according to whom? The truth according to them,
mm-hmm.
or how they see you, or because their truth doesn't necessarily make it truth.
Right.
Right.
But their truth. I need to understand their truth.
And
I
see what you're saying.
We could, because of the love fact, we can talk about it.
Right.
We can have those hard, difficult confrontations.
Right.
And come to an understanding. And
right.
Sometimes that we may understand to go separate ways.
Right.
But there's still love in that mix. So you can go separate ways cleanly.
Right.
And those are the kinds of people, the quality of people that I want in my life.
Right. Exactly. And I like the way you said, and on the outskirts, you still have those that you have to work with and coexist with, but on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that you may not necessarily have them over for intimate dinner parties or whatever the case may be,
right.
But you learn to coexist. And I think that's the thing that's missing in today's world is coexisting.
That co-part. And I think that comes from having that lens of love, because I understand, and knowing yourself really well, I understand in a sense their place in my story, in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I may not be super close or important as some others in their story.
Right, for sure.
But we still play a part in each other's story. We still
exactly.
have roles to play.
Exactly.
And I honor and respect that. And I love them at
right.
in that place of my story.
Right.
And they me. And so it's this understanding of how our stories are to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And staying in our lanes and not trying to make somebody more than what they're supposed to be.
Right.
Right? Allowing them to be who they're supposed to be.
Exactly. I think that's probably a very good empowerment of a queen, knowing that, you can sit back, understand your expectations, understand other people's expectations, mm-hmm. and those that are not in line with yours still can work and play and still have, whatever that relationship is, but understanding, that it's not perhaps on a deeper level, but you can still coexist. Because I think knowledge is power, and to get to know those people, at their level of expectations or what they mm-hmm. want, is not, okay, now Now you understand if you want to align yourself with them, through work, through friendship, through other vessels. I think that's always great. It's always great when you can have a choice, and I don't know if there's any times when we don't have a choice. The only time I think would be under extreme situations where you're taken hostage, and I mean literally hostage, physically hostage, where you no longer can, speak for yourself or, get out there and do something. But I think sometimes we make our own, hostage situation. We hold ourselves hostage when we're not living our truth and leveling up to our expectations of, what we want in life. I don't.
Yeah.
Why do we not go for what we want in life? We have a lot of, noise in the background saying, well, it can't be done. Or do you know how many people are trying to do that? You know what I mean? Or you don't have a degree to do it, or you don't have a high school diploma to do it, or, I don't know, maybe you have a checkered past or whatever the case may be. you still can rise to the occasion. Those expectations still never leave you. But, society tends to kind of beat you down sometimes of mistakes that you may have made for various reasons, good, bad, or indifferent, and won't give you that opportunity to meet your expectations. So that's why I say in so many of our shows, where there is not a door, make one for yourself. You have to.
And
it's
often,
imperative.
energetically, with those dreams, it is, there's, everybody hears about the law of attraction. We don't rarely hear about the law of action.
Right.
And so it's when you say yes and you take those first steps of action, that you're actually shifting things to come to you, to make those doors open.
Right.
By taking that step.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the universe is just waiting for you to take a step,
mm-hmm.
to take a step, And there was something that you were saying. Now I can't even, I was like, oh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. And I wanted to highlight a point, and now I can't remember. Oh.
Okay, if it wasn't really that good, if you can't remember.
Oh, no, it was good.
Or maybe you need some ginkgo biloba. I don't know. That memory. I don't know.
Oh,
but
I know it had to do with alignment and purpose, and knowing those for yourself
for sure
makes these choices easier.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Attachment.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get attached to an idea of somebody, or an idea that we think, that how somebody's going to fit in our life.
Right.
And
you want it so bad.
We end up trying to put them into this box, and it's not who they are, and we end up in relationships where we are not in alignment.
True.
And that's kind of where a lot of the trouble starts.
Toxicity.
And because of our attachments, we don't know how to let go very well and let them be who they're supposed to be and move on and be happier, and you be happier. So
yeah.
Sometimes I'll do like an attachment check in my relationships and see, am I being in a place of non-attachment with them? I like to hold my relationships like this, like a bird in the hand, and I love that bird, whoever that bird is,
mm-hmm.
in whatever the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I just love them, and because I keep my hand open, they are able to fly away anytime they need to, and I will still love them.
That's quite generous.
And I can also let them go if I need to.
Right.
And I will still love them.
Well, can you? Can you let them go?
That's what I'm saying. If you do your attachment checks.
So when do you fight for a relationship, a friendship, a business working relationship? Should you ever fight for it?
The way I would fight for it would probably be different. It would still be open hand.
Yeah.
But I would say to them, if I still want that person in my life, then I'm going to be very honest, the brutal honesty, and say, mm-hmm. I want you in my life. Is there something wrong? What? Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
And through that conversation, you find out, can they stay in the hand, or are they going to fly away? Or are you going to let them go? Right?
Yeah.
Because it's the needed conversation usually will reveal whether the bird should stay or go.
What if, okay, let's speak on an intimate level.
Mm-hmm.
So you're with this person,
mm-hmm.
and there is just like a key factor, let's say a sexual factor,
mm-hmm.
that on every other level you are
mm-hmm.
connecting on, but in the intimate realm of things, it just isn't. And let's clean it up by saying it's not because of anything medical. Right. It's not because something tragic happened. It's just not connecting. Okay. So do you surrender because your level of expectations are, this is what you want, and it fills a need, it fills a hole.
Yeah.
Do you let it go? Or do you just say, well, you know what? There is 9 points that he's or she is checking off, but
mm-hmm.
But one is not. What do you do?
That's a really good question, and I would say that's a case by case, and that's very personal, because I wouldn't know until I was actually in the situation with the connection.
Well, clearly you must be getting all your boxes are checked.
And
I'm just saying.
And
Korea. I'm just kidding.
And you know, I'm all red faced now.
She really is.
And I think for each person, that importance might be different. So it would be person to person, you know, because for some people to have 9 out of the 10 boxes checked is what that's like, you know, they've only had 3 checked in their life. So that 9, they're like, I am golden.
Wow.
Right? But for other people, they've honed their intentions for that relationship, and they're like, these 10 core are what I must have, and they're gonna go, that's too
but
bad.
We're talking about intimacy now. We're talking about intimacy. I'm not speaking about even finances. So what this person is saying is that, okay, if the finances aren't great, I mean, I'm okay. And if, you know, if they snore, you know what, I will learn to drown it out. Right. If they're a little rough around the edges, we'll smooth them out as life goes on.
For me personally?
I don't know. I guess I'm asking you. I guess I'm asking them, you know, out there that's watching, you know, you know, so again, expectations. Okay. So do you water that down? No. And let's say it's, you know, because let's say it's something that plays heavy in your life, you know, you really love that intimate connection. So, you know, what do you do with that?
My answer would be, it would have to be a no, we end. And this is why. Because in my experience, what is happening in the intimate realm is a mirror of what's happening here. So to me, it would be telling me that I'm not seeing something else is missing. Okay. That I'm not quite picking up on or seeing yet. And it's showing up over here.
But see, it's interesting you're going to yourself, because I'm saying your partner, the partner that you're with.
I'm not talking about me missing something. I'm saying something's missing in the relationship.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right? There's something, and it's manifesting in our connection physically, intimately, affection, you know?
Really?
And so whatever it is, maybe I cannot see. I'm like, I can't understand why we're not.
What if you're not compatible?
Well, then that's also part of that. It's going to show up in the other side of the relationship at some point is what I'm saying. And I'm not going to I'll end up wanting out eventually anyway. So to me, that's a big red flag.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
I think so.
You have to be compatible.
Or at least working, I don't know. That's a big one, because it's like, you know, what if you absolutely love and adore this person, then I guess it wouldn't matter. But
friends.
Yeah, friend zone.
Friendsy.
That's true. Friend zone.
I mean, that's what friends are for. Right? Friends aren't. If you don't want the intimacy, like if you don't have then might as well be a friend, like you and me. Right? I mean, seriously. What?
I think I'm in agreement with that. That was so devilish, but it's so true. I think it just becomes your friend. It's like
a wonderful friend.
Your best friend, right?
Yes.
But then isn't your best friend supposed to be the person that you know, are like, ooh, you know, with and love and you're intimate with and share all of your things with, you know. I don't even know the answer to this question. I thought I did. You know what I mean?
Everybody goes, he was my best friend, but they didn't even give it time for them to be best friends and then lovers usually.
That's true.
So I think that we have that idea out there, like we have to be best friends with our mates.
Yeah.
But I think you have your best friends and you have your mate.
That's true.
And you're also, and obviously in that relationship, there is a level of friendship.
Of course.
There has to be.
Of course.
And maybe even more, this person should have your back.
That's true.
And be your ride to die.
No, that is very true. I do think that the people that are in relationships and are also each other's best friends are the most fortunate and blessed people out there, because there are some amazing relationships out there, but maybe if you dissect it or if they looked at it, they would say, you know, I don't really consider them my best friend. They're my friend, But for those special relationships out there where, you know, you're each other's best friends, I think are amazing, which will pool into tomorrow's episode about soulmates.
The Irish call it Anam Cara, and there's a book on it, and it's soul kindred friends, and
to which we won't talk about today.
No, it can be girlfriend
tomorrow,
or like
tomorrow,
a male.
Tomorrow.
That's all I'm saying.
We got to get this out before we say goodbye. So Queen Challenge. We're going to just keep pushing this, okay? We're going to keep pushing it like an enema, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep pushing it. Yep. Because, okay, because you guys,
no one's
come
gonna
on.
do it now.
You need to do
That's
it. They will. You guys, come on.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
Find your queendom. Get out there and vote. We are at 48 days and ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Get out there and vote. Vote and vote. Please do that. So many prayers going out there for those getting hit and pummeled by, you know, Hurricane Sally. The fires, they just keep on
raging.
They keep raging. And we'll just keep fighting the good fight and getting into good trouble. If there's anything that we can do to help support, if you need anything, please hit us up at womanstrong.org. We are there. We're here to listen. We're here to do whatever we can to help support you in this time. We mean what we say and we say what we mean. So please do that, because we come from different backgrounds, but we know what it's like to be in need and to have angels that spirit us along the way. So we would tell you to continue to be bold, be blessed, be beautiful. And on a postscript note, there is no amount of money that will bring Breonna Taylor back. And I think justice still needs to happen. That's all I'm going to say about that for right now. But you don't get to pay off and sweep this under the rug. She was a warrior. She was a first responder. She deserves better. We all would. She's our sister. And so let's fight the good fight where that is concerned. Yeah. All right. And on that note, we shall see you tomorrow, Queens. Love you. Ciao. You know this is not going to turn off. This is not going to turn off. What? It never does. Never does.